Dominic Cummings and we're in lockdown, said he's done no wrong. Bullshit. Where are all these cars been? Where are they going? This is what he's done. He's confused the country as much as Boris Johnston has. Bullshit. Lockdown's eased in England. It's not eased in Scotland. Hi there. I'm out on the road because I want to show you basically what the roads are like tonight. I've been out, it's 25th. It's 25th of May. And I've been pretty cheesed off today with this Dominic Cummings nonsense. And this, the traffic, how busy it is. It's a bank holiday and normally it would be busy, but we're under lockdown. And there's a lot of controversy about Dominic Cummings going away and visiting or staying at his parents' farm, albeit in another farmhouse. But this is nonsense. This is a result of both Boris Johnston and Dominic Cummings doing whatever the hell they like. Got to cross over. Boris Johnston basically split the country in two by saying that he would ease the lockdown in England and not in Scotland because we have our own ruling up here with the First Minister, Nicola Sturgeon, who I think sensibly followed her own path. But definitely it's got a lot busier today. I was in Tesco and people were, I mean, look at the cars. I mean, it's 8:13 when I left the house tonight and we're in lockdown. Where are all these cars been? Where are they going? There's loads of them. Kids in cars. They've obviously been out somewhere. Now, Dominic Cummings has said he's done no wrong. Bullshit. This is what he's done. He's confused the country as much as Boris Johnston has. I'm going to cross into the field because it's getting too noisy. Although I want to show you this, constantly show you this traffic. And this is only in a short bit of up from my house. And there must have been 40-50 cars there in that short space of time. I was in Tesco today and what I saw was disregard. I only saw one other person wearing a mask. Our own First Minister and the Prime Minister have said we must try and wear face covering when we go out, even though the lockdown's eased in England. It's not eased in Scotland. Both have asked us to wear face covering. Where are we getting this face covering? They're saying don't buy masks because it'll take away from the NHS. So just wear a scarf or some other piece of cloth. Bullshit. Doesn't work. The WHO has said it doesn't work. It doesn't capture anything. All it does is give you that false sense of security where you can find yourself spreading the disease even further. How many cars are going to pass us tonight? On Wednesday this week, Nicola Sturgeon's going to probably ease the lockdown the same as Boris Johnson has. I have seen nothing but people out socialising, meeting up, go on and cycle runs together from different households, and that's only because Boris Johnston told us this is what we must do. As you can see, that's not normal traffic for the lockdown. We showed you the traffic last week for the lockdown. Do you think this is normal traffic for the lockdown? No. The ladies agreed with me. People have been confused, definitely. And it's because of Boris Johnston, and it's because of people like Dominic Cummings being an arse that we end up in this situation. As I say, I only saw one person with a mask on today. One person. And I was in a main Tesco, car park was full, there was no queues at the door in Edinburgh. This is in Edinburgh. No queues at the door. And I just walked in. There was definitely people on the door, security wise, or whatever they are. But we're going to go down the hill to a main junction just down from my house. I'll show you even more traffic. 8:30 at night probably now. So we'll go down there, we'll talk to you a wee bit more. I'm basically doing this on the main road because it's the only way to show you how many cars are out tonight at 8:30 wandering about. A few weeks ago, our chief medical officer here in Scotland resigned for visiting her parents up in the middle of Scotland, Dundee area in Scotland. It's about maybe 80 miles. And she resigned straight away, almost straight away. Dominic Cummings has refused to apologise, refused to even consider resigning from his position, even though a lot of people have mentioned it. And I don't understand our reporters. They don't grasp on any of the questions that they asked. They asked Dominic Cummings tonight in his press briefing, would he consider apologising? And he never said a damn thing other than waffle. And nobody pulled him up and asked and confirmed, would he not apologise? Dominic Cummings, will you apologise? He just waffled and went on to the next question. Every single one. Now what the reporters need to do is pin him down and ask him definitively, would he apologise? Or is he saying he will not apologise? None of this nonsense of letting him waffle on. I'm tired of our news reporters not reporting properly what's going on at these news conferences. The BBC I think have got their own agenda. It's not for me to say, but I'm saying it. And as I say, our own Catherine Calderwood resigned her position up Scotland, and I think Dominic Cummings has to do the same. Now here's the thing about Dominic Cummings' statement about his visit or trip to Durham. He said that on the 2nd of April his son was taken into the hospital with possible symptoms of COVID-19, and he could hardly walk. That's how ill he was, and his wife took him to the hospital. That's what Dominic Cummings said. And yet the next day he was well enough to get in the car and go and pick them up at that said hospital. How is it that he's unwell one day to the point of collapse, he can't walk, and then the next day he's going to the hospital to pick up his 4-year-old son and his wife and take them back to their country retreat? Why are the press not picking up on this? They said they went out to check out whether his eyes or he was able to drive. So they went for a short drive. He says half an hour to Barnard Castle. Now depending where he is in Durham, on this country estate that his father owns, or father-in-law, I don't know which it is, depending where he is, It's 45 minutes to Barnard Castle. So that's like an hour and a half to check out your eyes. And he said he stopped on the way for 15 minutes and also to let his son out to urinate. Now, why are the press not picking up on this? That's what I want to know. They're not asking these important questions. Half an hour is not. 45 minutes is not a half an hour. It's an hour and a half from Durham to Barnard Castle. And even if you take a different route, there's 3 roads, main roads you can take. Why would you do that? There's 3 roads that you can take, and each one of them takes, at the minimum, 45 minutes. And if you're going to spend that kind of time on the road testing your eyes to see if you're able to drive, even though days before it you could hardly walk, surely, as one of the reporters said, you would drive south, pack the car up, drive south. If you couldn't make it, turn back, instead of going an hour and a half to Barnard Castle and back. It just doesn't fit. It's all porky pies, if you ask me. Now, he said the reason that he left London was because of childcare, and that he was unsure if there was anyone could look after his children. So why would you drive 256 miles to Durham and put your niece, both your nieces, 17 and 20-year-old, in jeopardy of getting COVID-19 if you don't know whether you've got the symptoms or not? Why would you do that? Why not phone the local authorities within your area in London and get them to take care of you like everybody else has to do? He also says the other reason that he left London was that his address in London was under threat. Now, if your house is under threat and you're working for the government in a very close proximity to the Prime Minister, I'm pretty sure that you've got somebody looking after your house, either at night and during the day, almost 24 hours if you're one of the Prime Minister's, the leader of the country's most important advisors. And they know that you're getting threats on social media and in the press and they're reporting where your house is. So it doesn't wash that you've got to move out for London 265 miles, put your extended family at risk of getting COVID-19, and your wife and your son who are in the car while you're sick driving 265 miles. It just doesn't make any sense, and the press are not picking up on that either. Why are the press not asking these questions? Why is he driving when he's unwell? Why is he driving back for Durham when his eyes are bad and he feels that he's not fit enough to drive back to London, but he's fit enough to do an hour and a half to Barnard Castle and back before he travels to London? These are the questions we need to ask. Now, you've seen the traffic behind me. This is a busy cross at the Maybury in Edinburgh, and it's quieting down a wee bit because it's 9 o'clock at night, but there's still a lot of cars on the road, and this is what has prompted me to come out. I've said it for the beginning that this is about satisfying me as much as you. I have my worries about the coronavirus and how it's affecting us, the lockdown, etc. I've got people all around me, just like you have, who are not sticking to the lockdown. And they're only not sticking to the lockdown because of Boris Johnston messing up and splitting the country in two, and people like Dominic Cummings totally flouting the rules on lockdown. And as soon as Boris said he was going to ease the lockdown, I went out and I filmed the traffic on the M8 going to Glasgow, and you could see in that film, I'll put a link up here, the traffic was quite bad on 2 days after, I think it was, 2 days after the lockdown was eased. And you can see the traffic, although it's not that busy, there's a constant stream, 1-2 cars. I know people have got to work. I know that there are people going out there. You've got 5 cars. They're not all nurses coming back for their work. I'm going to leave you there. I'm going to head back home, and you know, you can make your mind up yourself. If you see anything like I'm seeing with the traffic, or you've got any views on Dominic Cummings, please leave a comment below. And as I say, this is to ease my worries about COVID-19 and the lockdown more than anything else. And I'm just reporting what's happening in my area. Let me know if it's the same in your area, if people are flouting the lockdown. It's good that I can show what's happening in my area to you as well, but it's about easing my worries about COVID-19 and the lockdown. Please leave a comment below. If you notice anything like I'm noticing, an increase in traffic, people flouting the lockdown, please leave a comment below. Let me know. And I'll see you again. Thanks very much for coming with me on this little walk. Hope it's been interesting, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. I'll just leave you with the traffic.